Now that I've had this camera for some time and I've had the ability of driving in different lighting conditions and seeing what the image quality looks like, I've gotten a pretty good idea of what the different lighting conditions and the different situations and so forth, how the camera basically reacts. So in this video, I'm going to be showing what happens when you're driving either into direct sunlight or when the sun is, I guess, visible to the camera. And so in this part of the clip, it's not too bad. Obviously, it's gonna overpower some, but I guess that's pretty much everything is gonna do something similar to this. So I would say as of right now, it's doing pretty well. And you still have a lot of details, and you can still see the cars. You can still read everything. Nothing is overly um, bright or overly dark, other than the sun being overly bright on the screen, and that's normal. Um, Overall, I would say this camera does extremely well. There's only these certain situations that really throw off, I guess, the sensor, or I don't know, maybe it's firmware related to some extent, but um, that'll be further on in the video in the second half of the clip, where it's a more interesting situation where I actually do have some concerns. In situations like this right now, though, this is where a filter would come in handy. It would make the image quality just a million times better looking right now. So as we're getting away and the sun's going out of the view, the image turns into an extremely good image quality for a $90 dash camera. This is awesome. Um, so now I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward a little bit, and I think it cuts about a few minutes, maybe like 20 minutes in time, cuts off, and we'll come back at another part of the clip where it's a little bit further in this drive, and we'll see where the problems, in my opinion, really start to creep up. So the second half of the video, um, I'm not sure exactly how much time goes by. You can see it in the right hand corner, but we're a little bit further on. There's a little bit more clouds, and the sun is on its way further down. And right now it looks fine. Everything's adjusting properly, and everything works as you would have imagine it to do. But once we make this turn left is when we start running into issues. You start seeing how um, everything gets dark um, because of the way how the sun reacts, I guess, with the clouds. And I've noticed this a few times. This isn't the only specific situation where something like this happens, but this was a really good um, part in the video, or in my recordings overall, where you could really see the situation happening and how it affects the image quality. This is not the only dash camera that will do this, but I just wanted to make people aware that this is something you will run into if you do buy this dash camera, and many other dash cameras, where you're running into the light and it kind of just overpowers everything. So the sun, or the clouds are nice and bright, and you lose detail basically everywhere else. Everything becomes quite dark overall, and um, this isn't even as bad as I've seen it. I had one video clip that I accidentally deleted, and it over exaggerated it even further than this, where in the sun, or in the area of the sun and clouds and sky, it was even brighter than you see it right now, and on the street was almost pitch black. I believe at the time I was driving on asphalt, so that may be something um, to do with it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that it's something to consider. In this situation, I don't see how a filter would help, but I really can't wait to get my hands on the filter to see how much good it will do in general with these situations. One other thing that was suggested to me is try to aim the camera a little bit further down so that more of the car is visible. I will try and get some daytime and you know, cloudy footage with that. I have already tried it in nighttime. It doesn't seem to change anything there. So I'm not really sure what it's going to do with the daytime footage. Basically, the way the car is set up, I don't think you're going to have any real advantages in terms of where the camera is pointing, whether it's one or two more clicks down. I don't think it's going to do very much for it. So yeah, this is basically the end of the video clip, and that's it. That's all I wanted to show here.